So if we deploy soldiers right now, will they be committing suicide of sorts if they are not well equipped?
Of course it is. I mean, naturally, that's what it is. When you send troops to a particular place and you don't equip them properly, it's almost like a suicide thing. That was what we were having in 2014.
Is that the case
under
today?
the former president Jonathan?
But is that the case today?
It's almost descending to that. It's almost descending to that level. And we should prevent it. It must be stopped. Whatever needs to be done has to be done now. Because these people are trying to establish bases where they want to run their Sharia state.
What are your expectations with regards to the meetings that the president has had with sister governments under the Lake Chad Basin? What are your expectations looking at timelines now?
I didn't quite get that.
Yes, looking at the timelines and what we should get out of that meeting with those others, the presidents of those other countries. What should be the template? I mean, if you say that there should be some kind of synergy between the governments to try to see that we chase them not only out of Nigeria but out of the region completely.
That's right.
Or even just round them up if we can.
Yes.
What are your expectations? How should this template take form?
No. We need properly kitted soldiers with adequate air support. Now, the command and control of that situation is such that if under normal circumstances, it is the commander of the unit that should request for air support in operation, that command should be allowed to go to the section level, because it is a section of soldiers that will go into an area to pursue the enemy and fight. If in the process of fighting they now discover that they require some form of artillery bombardment, they require some form of air support, at that level, that sectional commander, that second lieutenant, or even a sergeant, if the second lieutenant is dead, the sergeant that is supporting him there should be able to request for it. That's what I'm saying. You see, our system is rigid. I'm a product of that system. Our system is rigid. It is only the commander that, if you get a CTREP and it is a sergeant that is signing it, you are not likely to react. No! What I'm saying is that anybody that is out there in the front, fighting, requesting for air support, should get it. Because it is essential. It is time-based. If you don't get it timely, you are dead. If you get it timely, you go on pursuing your enemy. These are the changes that I am saying. I'm saying that should be put in place. Formality should be out of it. The people who are there, give them what they require. Let them do the fighting. Let them pursue the enemy. Give them everything they need to support their movement, and we will achieve results.
There are those who wonder why there was no air support, so to speak, at that Metele attack. The rumors also about infighting amongst the leadership of defense. That's why there was no air support. Is
the leadership of the fighting soldiers?
Leadership amongst the military hierarchy.
Yes, you see.
There's an infighting who was going to be the next.
We have a structure. We have a structure. In operations, it could be a second lieutenant or a lieutenant that is at the head of a particular fighting outfit. It could be the one in charge of the mobile strike force that is moving into the area. What I'm saying is that, you see, in normal military something, there is a commander, there is a 2IC, and so on and so forth. So if for any reason the commander dies or is wounded, is out of action, the next in command may not even be an officer, it could be an NCO. That NCO, when he makes request for support, let it be given.
So what if he makes a report and the request and the support doesn't come? Could that have been the situation at Metele?
You see, I'm not there now. It's not that I have a report.
Can that kind of situation happen?
You see, it's not that I have a report that has happened. What I'm saying is that in the worst situation, the man that is out there fighting, let it be a corporal.
General,
If he's the one surviving and pushing on, when he requests for support, give it.
General, I asked a question earlier. Let me bring that up again because we're almost out of time. There's a situation in the Northeast. There's a people in this country, citizens, residents, who need to know or who want to know what the situation is with the military, with the fighting soldiers, and with the enemy, so that they can also prepare themselves in whatever way they can render support, maybe in the form of prayer or financial support or social support, whatever support they can offer. How do you advise the military to manage the information that goes out from there to the people and basically around?
You're talking of information in respect of the
situation at the front.
At the front?
Yes.
Yes. You see, so far, the attitude had been to falsify casualty figures. We gleefully give out maybe near correct information when the enemy is routed. When the case is on the other side, it is, it was only 10 soldiers that were killed, it was only 5 soldiers that were killed. We do not give factual information. And that has a reason. When you announce to the general public that 100 soldiers have been killed in a unit that has only 150 soldiers, they have families. That demoralizes a lot of people. So it's not just that they give this managed information, but it is deliberately done the way it cannot hurt people too much.
Families and friends.
Yes.
Okay. I'm afraid that's...
So this is the thing. But the commander on the ground, the chief of army staff, the chief of operations, the chief of administration, they should have correct figures. That should give them the ammunition to be able to move and correct situation and ensure that the fighting forces are given what is required to go on fighting.
That's a good place to let it rest. We must thank you so much indeed, Olusegun Ajano. My apologies, retired Brigadier General, for giving us an insight into how the army is trying to, win this war in the Northeast.
Thank you.
Sunrise Daily will be back after these messages. Join us again.